Hey, it's your favorite bartender, David Raine, creator of Liquid Kitchen New York. I'm in Philadelphia today. You can see the art museum behind me. It's such a beautiful, beautiful day. I think I want a cocktail. So we're going to tell you a little bit of history about the ingredients we're using in our cocktail today. We have sake, we have peach wine, and we have vodka. We're going to mix these three together. They all have their separate histories though. But briefly, sake, it obviously comes from Japan, and it is actually a brewed beverage. It is not a wine. Most people call it a rice wine. It's been available since 1712 AD, and it was mostly available for high-end people. It became a public drink once the monks were allowed to brew it in their temples, which is cool. We have peach wine. Peach wine, this particular peach wine was created by Manischewitz. That company began with a rabbi in 1888, and that was in Cincinnati, Ohio. They are now in Newark, New Jersey, and that's where everything happens there, from matzo balls to matzo chips to Concord grape Manischewitz to now our peach wine that we have today. The vodka is obviously from northern Eastern Europe, and we love our vodka here in America, but we were introduced to it in 1940. It had been going on for many years before we had it. They basically used it medicinally, and it was used in a mix with herbs for infections and for body cleansing, and now we use it recreational, I would say, with our juices and our tonics and our sodas and all kinds of things. And today, speaking of recreational, we're going to enjoy a nice recipe with these three ingredients. So, I've been bartending in New York City for about 15 years. I started off working with bar owners and clubs all around New York City, and eventually I just decided that I was going to start my own company and work with some caterers as a separate vendor. And my specialty was cocktail creating. And one of the things about my cocktail creating is that I take nectars, fruits, liquors from indigenous areas. I don't just come up with an idea and go, oh, I think this and this would taste really good. Not that I'm knocking mixologists that just make up their own drinks. I do make up my own drinks, but I bring them from a certain place. So, for instance, if I have a client that has a product that they're bringing onto the market, and the product's design is a mix of, say, French and Asian, and they tell me that this is the design, what I will do is I'll get Asian ingredients, I'll get French ingredients, I'll make sure I find a way to bring them together so that not only is the drink made up of what the product is made up of, but the taste and the look reminds you of what the product's about. So the entire experience is based around this great drink. So that's pretty much how that works. That's how Liquid Kitchen New York works. So today, all right, watch your eyeballs when the juice is flying around there. Okay, see that there? That's a mix of the lime and the orange. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to do a whole part of sake. Whole part of the vodka. And I say wholes and halves because it's really up to you how strong you want to make the drink. I don't believe in the rules of ounce this, half ounce that. It's all to taste as far as I'm concerned. And this is the peach wine. You're going to shake this. A good count is the same count for martinis. You shake it 26 times. That's to be technical. But you can also just shake it until you feel the cold go through the shaker and your hand starts to get cold. Then obviously your drink is cold. There we go. I'm going to add some ice here. For TV, we won't do the 2-second rule. I would have put that in my glass if the camera wasn't running. Okay, here we go. Can you see that? Now for good measure, I like to pour just a little bit more of the peach wine over the fruit so that when you take that first sip, it has a glaze of the peach wine in it. There we go. Voila. Enjoy. I think I'm going to go out to the balcony and have this. Won't you be my neighbor? Come with me. Never mind the baby stuff. This is how you do in Philadelphia. You got the art museum here. Beautiful sky, beautiful drink. We'll see you on the next adventure, see where we're going next. Ciao. Drum roll, please. Oh, okay. So basically, we're going to take a little history. Oh, there you go. All right. So I'm going to give a little history about the ingredients that are in the cocktail today. Oh, hey. So we are dealing with 3 different recipes, or 3 different ingredients for our recipe today. We have sake. We have peach wine, and we have vodka. Get it out there. Hey, so we have a cocktail with 3 different ingredients today. The one, let's start it again. So one of my favorite things about making drinks is I like learning about the ingredients, where they come from, what country, what kind of background was around it, how were they created, and what did other people do with them before I started messing around with the recipes. So what I'm using today, I have a couple of backgrounds to share with you about. Basically, some of the stuff you may know and some of the stuff you may not know, but it's interesting nonetheless. This is sake, okay? So I use sake in many different drinks. We all know that enjoying it cold or hot in a restaurant with your food and your sushi is awesome, but there's so many different things you can do with it. A lot of people call it rice wine. It's actually not prepared that way. It's prepared more like a beer. It's brewed as opposed to aged. So it's a big kind of misconception to say it's a rice wine. But one thing about it is, initially it was a government-sanctioned drink, and only government officials or high priests or very, very important people were allowed to have it. And eventually they opened it up and allowed the temples, the Buddhist temples, to brew it, and then that's when the public was able to share and enjoy sake. It actually started as early as 712 AD, so that's pretty far away, you know, for sake to be started. That's earlier than a lot of other drinks that are existing on the earth right now. And I'll be excited to learn more and more about what drinks were around and how long ago and what they were used for. Oh, here we go. Ah, all right. So anyway, enough goofing off.